So today, I'd like to talk to you about the concept of Mettā or Upekkhā. Mettā in Buddhism means compassion. And it's something that is very popular in Buddhist culture. When we see other people in pain or suffering, we always do the chanting of like sapphe sattā, may all living beings be happy, be free of animosity and pain, free from diseases and problems. That's just being nice, right? It's being nice to other people, caring about other people, worrying about other people. But how far do you take it? How far should you take compassion? All the way? Or are there dangers to too much compassion? For example, what if your friend said, I need a place to stay. Can I stay with you? And you say, sure, of course I can help you. And they stay with you. They don't pay rent, they don't help, they eat all your food, and they live with you for 1 week. Is that still compassion? 2 weeks? 3 weeks? 4 weeks? 6 months? 2 years? 4 years? Then they get pregnant and have a child and they move their child in. Another year? Where does the compassion end? Should it end? Should we have limitless compassion? Should we have no compassion? And say, oh, it's on your own, do whatever I have nothing to do with this, not my problem. How do we figure this out? It's so confusing. We're taught to be nice, but then when we're too nice, we get in trouble. Problems happen, people take advantage. But then when we're not nice, they say we're selfish and we're greedy and heartless. So what do? Well, there's also another concept that people tend to forget to teach, which is the concept of Upekkhā. Wanda, can you say Upekkhā? Upekkhā means they translate it as to let go. But what it really means is that you understand how things work. You understand that everything has a cause, everything has a result. If something happens to someone, it's because that person created the cause already. And if the cause is already created, can you fix it? You can't change it. Therefore, you can feel compassion and you can feel like you don't want bad things to happen to people you like. But if they're gonna happen, they're gonna happen. And you have to accept that. Now, who do we know who had the most compassion in the whole world? Well, of course it has to be the Buddha, right? Because he decided to go through like 1 million lives and more to train himself to be perfect, to come help us and save us, right? So that's the most compassion. But was he compassionate to everyone the same? Well, it depends, right? After he became enlightened as the Buddha, he spent 49 days in the forest, just absorbing his what he learned. Then, when he came out of his meditation, he met a guy who saw him and was like, wow, your aura is so beautiful. You look wonderful, right? He's like, the Buddha is so beautiful. And he asked the Buddha, who are you? Are you a god? Are you like an angel? Like, what are you? He's like, I'm the fully enlightened Buddha, the first one in the whole world. And the guy said, what? You're a Buddha? Buddhas don't exist, buddy. They don't exist. And he made a sound. Who? And that's it. He just walked away from the Buddha and never came back. And so he was one of the first people who met the Buddha. And the Buddha didn't help him, didn't teach him, didn't save him, and didn't help him. Why? Because he didn't want help. He didn't have respect. He didn't want to get helped. He didn't think he was sick. He didn't think he needed help. So why would the Buddha help someone who didn't think they were sick, who didn't want the medicine? Wouldn't that have caused more trouble? And so in the books, this guy was known as the Hoo guy. That's his name. They just called him Mr. Hoo, because all he said to the Buddha was, Hoo. And so for us, as we get older, as you're young and you get older, and even when you're older and you get more older, you have to learn balance between feeling compassion for people, but also learning where the boundaries of it are. And I'm not here to tell you what they are. I can't. Every situation is different. Every person is different. Should you feel compassion? Always. Always. No exception. But should you always act on your compassion? That's up to you to decide.